Welcome to the Outbound Sales Podcast with your host, Jeff Swan. Each week, we're going to be talking to sellers, sales leaders, and company founders who are sharing their secrets to getting over 10 meetings booked per month per rep. Every episode is going to be packed full of tactical and practical tips you can use to fill your funnel today. So thank you and happy hunting. Hey everyone, and welcome to the Fill a Funnel podcast with your host, Jeff Swan. I'm here today with Elliott Garcia, the monster cold caller that I've had the pleasure of working with for several months now. But over the summer months this year, when everyone was sitting there complaining about out of office and all that fun stuff, well, Elliott didn't listen to that at all and ended up booking 86 meetings in 6 weeks off of his inhuman cold calling skills. It was such an amazing process. I loved working with Elliott at the time, seeing the energy and just the dedication to doing it. He was part of a group I was with, and it was just insane. So Elliott, I just want to invite or thank you for joining me today and sharing your secrets for how you do what you do. And please tell the group about, tell our listeners about yourself, where, who you work for, what your role is, and who you prospect.
Hey, Jeff, man, thank you so much for having me here. It's a pleasure. I remember just watching your podcast 10 months ago before I even knew anything about SaaS. I was like, man, you know what? One day I want to be on that podcast. That podcast always sounds so enthusiastic and everybody on there. And yay, now I'm here. So thank you so much for having me. Shout out to Outbound SOS. Thank you so much, Jeff Swan. And so just a little bit about me, just hospitality over 10 years and broke into the SaaS industry through RevGenius and finally got my shot with a small company. And from there, I just kind of I learned for the first 2 months and I was going after financial advisors. And once I just got into it, I picked up the phone. I was like, okay, let's go. And at the time, I was kind of skeptical about cold calling because, that's everyone's fear, to just get rejected. But I surpassed that feeling and I just said, you know what, I'm going to give it a shot. And I started cold calling, and little by little, the cold calling script was working. So I said, hey, you know what, I got 10 in a week. I was like, okay, maybe I can get 20. And I started doing my first month. I booked 72 meetings.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
For 2 months, just being just watching, I got bored and I said, you know what? I think I could do this. Yeah. And so that whole fear factor, what everybody says, oh, I have the fear of cold calling. I just grabbed that and I just threw it out the window. And I just started, just putting my personality into the cold calling and tone and everything else, just all involved in the cold calling aspect of it. And if anybody wants to know more, just hit me up. Feel free to hit me up on LinkedIn. And so I entered into this tournament. That's where I was skeptical. I was like, man, you know what? I have no experience at all, zero experience. And finally, I was talking to Tom. I was talking to Jared Robin. Shout out to Jared Robin, CEO of RevGenius. I was like, guys, I really don't have any experience. And then Justin Lang is like, come on, dude, you can do it. And I was like, all right, you know what? I enter. So it's a 64 people tournament. And I mean, you got AEs, BDRs, SDRs, you got them from all over the place. Yep. And so, there was a lot of sponsors. So I was like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to enter this. And finally, just little by little, I passed the first round. In the second round, I went up against Cliff Simon, and that was like a battle for the ages. The guy is just a monster. He can book. Geez, he's a vice president of sales, and he's just amazing at what he does, And I barely beat him by 2 points. And after that, I went up against Erica Stacy. She's tough as well.
Talk about consistency. Erica is consistent every single month, just booking. So you had your work cut out there, Elliott, especially somebody with, no experience and whatever else.
I know. I was like, man, you know what? I better not take her easy. And so, yeah, I was able to get through through that one, and then I went against Mark Mack. I mean, that guy is incredible. He's just in the GTM games as well, so he got me back. And I was in the GTM games as well, and I lost the first round as well. But that's a whole nother that's a whole nother podcast.
Yeah. You lost to Mark?
Yeah, in the GTM games. Yeah, he got me.
Oh my God.
In the
Mark was on the pod like 2 weeks ago. Hey, like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, he was. I just saw it.
Yeah.
But in Rev League I got him, so I was able to get through him barely by like 10 points. I mean, but that he was just crushing it. He had like 10 meetings that first week, and I was like, oh my goodness. I was like, you know what? I don't think I can beat this guy. And finally, I was able to get through that somehow, some way. I think two of my meetings from all those meetings that I booked from the first round. Second round, they closed. So I was like, you get extra points for closing.
You get extra points for closing, my friend. Booking meetings is one thing, but the purpose of booking meetings is
closing.
Filling your pockets with cash. Right?
That's so true. Yeah, it really is. You can book as many meetings as you can, but closing is the best part. And so in the championship round, I went against Shri, and Shri is now with Zendesk. Man, this guy's phenomenal. I mean, he's a student of the game. He really, really, really is all about, you know what I mean, SaaS. The guy is phenomenal. And going up against him, I was like, man, this guy, I couldn't take him. I was like, there's no way I'm taking this guy easy. You know, I got to take him serious. And so I was able to win the Rev League tournament. And I got a remarkable 2.0, which I have right here in my hand. And it's phenomenal. That's the pen. And it takes notes. You could read books. It's easy on the eyes. And so I won that, and I won a couple sponsors send me some stuff. And so from there, booking so many meetings, I booked 86 meetings in 6 weeks. I started getting people just calling me left and right, SDRs, asking me questions, and it was just great. You know, what can I say? You know, it was just a remarkable experience in itself. And
well, it was amazing. I mean, like, you know, being part of the leadership group over at Rev League during this process, watching you go and just skyrocket was just amazing. You know, like Tom and I were so proud of you, and you know, the people you went up against were literally like some of the best in Rev League, period. And just the fact that you came out there out of nowhere and just crushed it. I'm really happy for you. And so let's talk about your role now. Well, actually, before we do that, you mentioned that you were in hospitality. So you got that personality. I'm not surprised. What were you doing in hospitality?
I was working here on the Strip, on Las Vegas Strip. And so it's huge melting pot. A lot of people from all over the world come. So I've met people I didn't even know there was a little country. Like, you know, I was like, wait, where do you live? And then like, I was like, I'm looking it up on my Google Maps. I was like, whoa, I didn't even know that existed there. So you meet people from all over the world. I was a waiter, and before being a waiter, I was at the Venetian as a convention supervisor. And so I was setting up meetings with, I got to meet Paul Mitchell. I got to meet different people just from all over those convention venues. And so it was a great experience. You know, you get to meet different leaders from different venues, and it was pretty cool. So then I moved into waiter. I started working for Guy Fieri, spiky hair guy, Dash door and all that. And so, it was cool meeting him. Super cool guy. He's real big in Vegas. And I went to work at a world buffet. It's called Bacchanal, and people from all over the world as well there. And then finally, COVID hit, and that's how I broke in. That was like, you know, I met with a friend, and I was at a coffee shop, and he showed me Rev League and showed me Rev Genius. And then I was like, okay, you know what? I really like this.
That's amazing. No, I love this because there's something about hospitality, especially in Vegas. You have to be loud. You have to be energetic, you don't really get to sleep, right? And so obviously you've taken that energy and put it into your cold calling and your prospecting and are crushing it, because those skills are very transferable. And I've hired many people from the hospitality industry as SDRs, as AEs, and that kind of thing. And like, they're fantastic people. I mean, it's a great place to find some amazing talent like yourself. And we're really excited to have you. And now I want to switch gears a little bit, is talk about what you're doing today, because it turns out that all this interesting stuff, all this activity around your competition win and everything, you ended up getting a role with Outplay, an outbound SOS partner, actually. I'm really excited. So who do you prospect now?
I go after sales directors, head of sales, and they're different than financial advisors. It's like day and night. It's a small space, and really what you're trying to find is the pain. And I'm not trying to stalk them or anything, but it's different. It's different. They're a different breed. They're getting haunted all the time, so you really gotta see what is your focus on right now? Where are you going after? What can we do to help? Instead of just trying to hey, this is Elliott, with Outplay, what are you guys up to? And it really has to be that hey, I'm here to help you out, because I know what it takes to cold call. I know what it takes to become a rock star SDR. I know what it takes to build that relationship. And so, my hospitality background, service hat first, it has to just kind of penetrate through and then make it to the front door. But it's such a small space that you have to really stand out, and in such a small window that they have, because they probably have 1,000 emails, and so yours has to stand out. I've been using a lot of video though lately, and so I've noticed that having a video aspect to it is really makes you stand out in a crowded inbox.
Yeah, well, I've seen some of your videos, just you in your courtyard and things like that, and I think that you present well, my friend, and I think you clearly got that creativity down. So I think you've got the perfect mix, and just again, from knowing you for a short time, I think you get the perfect mix of being successful in this role. So I'm really happy for you. With that said, let's get into the nitty gritty here. So a lot of people listening are either sales leaders who are looking to get their reps to 10 meetings a month or more. Mm-hmm. And then there's also people that are trying to get themselves to 10 meetings a month or more. Okay. Mm-hmm. So if you had to give one secret to reps, to anybody trying to book 10 meetings or more a month, what would you say is the first thing and the most important thing that they need to do?
Well, the first thing I would have to say is find out their pain. What is it that they need right now? And that's the first thing I always say. In my previous job, that was the first thing I wanted to say. Hey, where are we at? Are we in growth? Are we stagnant? Or are you just looking for new opportunities? Because somebody's always looking for the next best thing. Right. That's the first thing I always do, is look for the pain. Where can I help you at right now? Now, where I can help you out in 2 months, 3 months, where can I help you out right now? Where do you need help? That was the first thing that really made me successful when I was working with the financial advisors. What can I help you with right now? My tone, my tonality, my hospitality at service was really helping that, because I was looking at a couple of videos, before I got here, and how people really respond back, and that's the tonality, and finding the pain with your tone and finding the pain. You loud, medium, where are they at right now? Try to meet them there. And that's what really helped me out.
When you're referring to this as finding their pain, what do they need right now? Are you referring to doing some pre-call research and understanding, or are you talking about in an actual cold call? So you're calling me up saying, hey, Jeff, what do you say? So is it pre-call research, or are you talking actually in a call?
In a call would be because and you have a valid point as well, because you do have to research who you're talking to. Yeah. You can't just be out of the blue. have that open screen and make sure that you're at least looking at their bio and at least looking at where they're at, if they're hiring, if they've been hired, if they changed their job, things of that really go hand in hand with what your conversation is going to have initially. And plus what you have at your disposal of what you're going to, really distribute. So they know like, oh, okay, you know what? This guy knows what he's talking about. He's not just kind of like trying to just get me in a meeting, and just talk about random general things. And so, yeah, you did have a good point though, by the way.
Yeah. No, for sure. Because I mean, like one of the key things that we teach people here at Outbound SOS is that to show your prospect, you know them. I say, show me, you know me. Right. And so when you do that tiny little bit of research, it doesn't have to take a long time. It can take literally a minute before you call, things like that. Is that just showing that little tiny bit of research and understanding can go a long, long way. And like you were saying, to your point that you were talking about earlier, is that, with your financial advisors, you might have been able to do more volume. And kind of have consistent pains and consistent needs that you can speak to consistently, right? Yes. With directors of sales, they might be more discriminating, more aware of that their stuff is out there, that their personality and their needs are out there, and that they would expect you to take the time to get to know them first.
Right. Let's stamp that.
Yeah. It's on record. Yeah. So what I'm hearing you say is that you want to use, in a cold call situation, you want to use tone. Mm-hmm. You want to use inflection. You want to go like match their level where it is and make it fun and playful. I see it in the way you talk, Elliott. Yeah. It's fun. It's playful. You're curious, right? Like you're not sitting there trying to say, hey, buy this thing or like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right.
If you do that 9 out of 10 times, they're going to be like, click.
Bye. Yeah. So no, I absolutely love this. And I really appreciate this. I'm going to ask you one quick question is, how do you make your job fun, my friend?
Every day is a new day. I know that, in sales and in SaaS, I look forward to it. I love what I do, and you gotta love what you do. And how I make it fun is that I know that today I'm going to strike a conversation. Today I'm going to get to know somebody new, and today I'm going to learn something new. And so with those 3 things, I always keep in mind. And yeah, that's pretty much it. 3 things I always have to keep in mind. Every day you're going to learn something new.
Thank you so much, Elliott. So just to recap, our friend Elliott here crushed it in the Rev League Summer League competition with 86 meetings in 6 weeks, I didn't even realize how little experience you had in sales, Elliott. So I'm even more impressed. Okay. And one of the things you didn't mention, and that you told me I'm going to tell everybody, is that you set yourself up for success every day with some really strong mindset work. So I'm just going to say that was awesome. And what you were saying is that to get in, you just basically got over your fear and just started getting the job done and managed to book 72 meetings in your first month. Epic. I love it. And the way that you do it, the secret that everybody needs to know right now is find out your prospect's pain and set your call up for success with pre-call research so that you know exactly what's going on, and then just crush it and know every day you're going to be learning something new and meeting someone new. Thank you for joining us for the Outbound Sales Podcast. We hope you learned something new that you can use today to start filling your funnel and leveling up your outbound sales game. If you're still looking for more support and guidance on how to get to 10 meetings or more booked a month, then go to outboundsos.com. There's something for everybody. Thanks and happy hunting.